Welcome to Seeking Alpha, the podcast where we're diving deep into crypto, careers, and the chaos of modern dating. I'm Larissa Bunziak.
And I'm Lindsay Poss. Together, we're two women who somehow found themselves at the intersection of crypto Twitter, Silicon Valley, and Tinder.
All right, bitches. We're at ETHDenver Rant, the official podcast studio, because we totally belong here and did not sneak in.
We are at ETHDenver, where I am having not a good time, not a bad time. Mm-hmm. We just got our asses handed to us in poker.
Speak for yourself. I won a couple rounds.
Did you really?
I swear to God.
Hell yeah. No,
I won like 4.
I don't believe you. I performed so poorly. I've learned that I'm more of a personality hire at a poker tournament.
That's why I brought you.
Yeah.
Not because I thought you would win. Actually, I was so sure that you were going to win the entire thing and that we would be there all day and all day.
If someone had given me like maybe 15 minutes of coaching, I think I could have cleaned up.
I'm sure.
But like I went in completely fresh on knowledge.
Yeah.
Like just carte blanche, nothing in there.
Yeah, I did not know that Texas Hold'em was more than a Beyonce song until we arrived. And
Are you serious?
No, I did know that.
Okay,
but,
I was gonna say. Like you, I'm never sure.
That's true. Yeah, I did win at Texas Hold'em a couple rounds. I did not win the whole thing. And then at one point, Lindsay was out, so I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm out too. So I put all my chips in, and then I fucking won the round.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was and I got a shit ton of chips. But ultimately, I didn't put any money in. All of our waged assets was pride.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Lost some pride. I guess I would have lost more pride if I actually had cared.
Yeah.
To be honest.
The takeaway is do not care and you do not lose.
That's actually so true.
You win or you learn.
I saw a meme the other day that was like, I'm moisturized, I'm fresh, I'm winning that I don't give a fuck war. And I was like, it's not I don't give a fuck war. It's the IDGAF war.
So true.
I'm winning.
So true.
I'm winning, babe.
So true. Yeah. So true. Anyway, we're at this conference, and generally conferences are very fun. Yeah. This one, less so. Yeah. Lindsay, how do you cope?
No, we were talking about this morning because, I'm sure this is going to be a huge surprise to anyone who knows me and or has listened to, one episode. But I am straight up not having a good time. I know I said at the beginning.
She says
this so smiling. I know.
Happy, beaming as ever.
Also, someone recognized my laugh earlier. I was walking around, and they're like, oh, I knew you were here because of your laugh. And I was like, oh, shit. I really have got to work on my anonymity. No.
I mean, there's no anonymity to be had. That's why it's so fun going out with you, because I never lose you. Because you're so tall, I can always see your little chirpy blonde head and hear you from across the room. Can never lose you.
But yeah, so this is my first ETHDenver. I was unaware we were going to be in a rodeo stadium. I am not sold on the idea of a rodeo stadium without a rodeo. If ETHDenver incorporated a full-on rodeo, I think I would love it here.
Where's the feedback box?
Right. Yeah. Bring in the rodeo. Because otherwise, you just get the rodeo smells and the livestock atmosphere. The ceilings in here are kind of low. You can tell there's a lot of ventilation going on. There's a lot of floor drainage going on.
If only we could flip the camera around to show what is passing right now. But
we'll see. But the point is, if you're going to make it feel like it's a livestock show, bring me some livestock.
Yeah.
I want to see bull riders.
I mean, a unicorn just passed by. A live-ass unicorn. That's what I wanted to turn the camera around to show, was a fucking inflated unicorn at a professional conference.
Yeah, professional. But yeah, vibes are down bad here. My face is down bad here. I can't do this altitude. Yes. It's dry as hell in Denver. My little East Coast lungs are down bad here.
Yes.
And I'm just hey, I remember when I was in Thailand with all of my friends drinking smoothies, doing business, having fun, and now I'm in Denver. And I will say the weather's been very nice, thank God.
Thank God. That's the saving grace of this entire conference.
I'm in Denver in a livestock expo arena, and I'm I wouldn't say I'm having a bad time, but I am not having fun.
And the only reason you wouldn't say you're having a bad time is because you never have a bad time. For anybody else, this is Lindsay this is bad.
This morning I looked at Larissa and I was like, I don't know what to do because I'm not having fun and I'm not happy and I don't know how to cope with that because that's not who I am. And she's like, you're laughing. I'm like, yeah. Well, that's how I'm coping.
Still having fun. Anyway, yeah. So I wanna let's unpack this because as I say, your worst and least fun times are still probably more joyous and sunshiny than my best, perhaps. So I want to talk about that because conferences are a time where you need to be on always. You need to be bubbly and outgoing and all things that I'm generally by default not. And so it takes tremendous amount of stamina and effort and energy to like turn on. But for somebody who is on by default, I will call you, dare I say, because you are like more, you say you're an extroverted introvert, but really I think you're an extroverted extrovert, but it seems more natural to you. So on a good day, like how would you approach going to a conference and like having to talk to a bunch of people? Like, is it just like you show up and you just like click with anybody?
I wouldn't say I click with anyone right away, but I do give everyone a shot. I think like truly like one of the things that changed my life was hosting a podcast, because I started doing this, like the feed, people who have explored the feed will see kind of the old episodes that I used to do. And that's where I like really learned how to like listen and small talk with people. And especially since I was doing it a lot over the pandemic. So like we weren't having interactions.
Yeah.
And like the way that I had to interact was by like doing interviews. Like I was interviewing people at least once a week and like getting to know them and figuring out what they're interested in. And like having that experience of being forced to like really sit down and listen, because like you're actively listening, because the other thing I would do is do a recap at the end of every episode.
So
I
you
was
gotta
actually
pay
taking
attention.
notes. Yeah. I would like take like little notes and stuff during the episode and like be able to ask like real-time follow-up questions and all of that stuff. And like that skill has been so invaluable, and I'm glad that I learned how to do that like online first, because I think if I hadn't been like forced to be inside and like thinking about how I could connect, I like wouldn't have been able to translate it as well. But I guess like when I'm gearing up to go into this, like I'm gearing up the same way I do for like competition. That's why you're like you're an extrovert. Like I am not an extrovert by nature, but I know like the way that I need to act and the energy that I need to bring in order to feel extroverted and to make connections.
That's fair.
And I like, for me, it's like suiting up.
Yeah.
Okay, like my mindset needs to be like this. I need to be like ready to not only like listen, but also exit conversations gracefully, which is a skill that I've also had to practice a lot. I need to be able to like,
that is one I will forever be working on. Instead of being like, bye bitch, gotta go.
No. Yeah, I know,
or saying nothing and literally just walking away. That is, that is a thing that I do.
I do always want to make the person on the other side feel like they're heard and like feel good. Like my goal is always like that the person on the other side feels like they made like a strong connection, whether I like that person or not.
That's smart.
So I don't try to I don't tend to show people if I like them or not.
Yeah.
I try to make sure that everyone feels equally loved, and then my people who actually know me know who I actually love, which is great.
So you walk into a party and there's valuable connections to be made, but you don't know anybody and you're alone. What do you do?
This is hard for me because I'm actually really bad at like cold introductions. And this, I don't know if this is a tactic that works for everyone or works because I'm like a tall, bubbly blonde. Like there's obviously some privilege that comes with that. But usually I'll sort of like jump into a conversation that I like hear around me. Like if I'm like standing at the bar and someone's ordering drinks next to me and they're like talking about something, I'll like make a comment on it.
Okay.
And that is usually a pretty natural segue. That actually happened, we were at the photo booth line last night at the boys club party, and someone said something like really funny and embarrassing. Actually, I like immediately, because the person next to him was like, anyone could overhear that, and I was like, hello, it's me. Like I overheard that, and we immediately like we're all laughing
and like
together.
jumping into the conversation. Yeah.
Like we were all like laughing together right away, and he said, well, now you know all this stuff about me. I was like, yeah, it's great. Like, and so I do tend to like kind of look for that opening where people are already talking, and then just be like have a comment on it, because I don't like doing the like, hey, I'm Lindsay, what do you do?
Right.
It's like not a natural way of starting a conversation. And I can't even tell you how many conversations I've had where I will be talking to someone for 10, 15, 20 minutes, and I'll go to like walk away or go to the next one or whatever, and I'm like, oh my God, what's your name? Like, so it's like, it's nice to start like already on something that's happening rather than like, hi.
Right.
Yeah.
What about, do you ever feel low energy?
No, but like I said, this is like it's like a game. It's
a mental thing.
I played college basketball. I still play basketball competitively. Like I never give anything but my best. And like there is a difference. Like all the fun stuff that I wanted to do this week, I didn't really do because that was like friend time. And that's when the introvert comes out, where I'm like, I fucking love my friends and I would spend all my time with them, but like I need to rest up because it's game time tomorrow. Right. So like I do skip out, like that's where the introverted part comes in, because it's like I do skip out on the stuff that like actually makes me feel good if I know that like
you need to
if it's
recharge.
work time.
Yeah.
If I need to perform, then like the performance is my highest priority.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think I really fail sometimes to prepare myself mentally and like do what I need to do energy wise ahead of time before going to things like this, because I showed up just like willy nilly. I mean, I showed up after coming from Scottsdale where I was like forced.
Oh my God, sending me beautiful pictures of the sun, being like, oh my God, I'm going to go see cactuses. I'm like, I am in Denver. My nose hurts. I'm sleeping no more than 3 contiguous hours. And this bitch is laying out in the sunshine.
I was at the pool and then I was at the botanical gardens. Saw lots of cacti, saw some rare species of spiky things, and I brought one home. But I was not in the like work mode, get ready for socializing 24/7 type of mindset. And I think that hurt me when I showed up here yesterday. I mean, I know it hurt me because I literally turned around and went back to my hotel and then had to like reframe and like spend, the rest of the night like being myself, reading a book and whatever to like get back into myself, frankly. So I could show up today and do this and play poker.
Yeah.
And make business connections.
I'm not gonna lie, I 100% compartmentalize when I'm out here. It's
yeah.
Like, it is literally game time to me. Like this is business.
Yeah, this is fucking business.
I'm playing a role and I'm doing it well, and everyone is getting my best. I will figure it out later.
you are probably the best person that I've ever met at this. Like just making everybody feel so special.
Yeah, I mean, everyone deserves that in some capacity too. Like, I think everyone does, and so it's like I can be the bringer of that to the table.
That is so true. Oh my God, you bring that to the table and more. So overall, not bullish on ETHDenver.
No, unfortunately not.
I'm hoping that ETHDenver guy who works for the org, who very reluctantly let us podcast, is not over here shitting on ETHDenver. But
it's a little bit. I will say, like, it's definitely sad because part of the industry, like, we all live so online and we get together at these conferences, and I know it seems like so silly, like all the side events and all this stuff that we get to do that looks super fun. But when people are relaxed and natural and feel good in their environments, like, that's when the magic happens.
Yeah.
And
agreed.
So here there's just been kind of strange tension.
Yeah.
And everyone feels a bit stressed out. Part of it is kind of, I think, the market, but part of it is just there's a lot happening in the Ethereum ecosystem that's like a little uncertain. And normally, like, getting all these communities together is such like a celebration, and you're really able to like truly have fun and like make real connections. And that is just totally missing. Like, people there's like such an attempt at doing that that's just not there, and like the connections are not coming naturally, and everything feels like tense, and like we're all trying too hard.
Agree.
And it's sad.
Agree. Yeah. I mean, some of the vibes at the conferences are just like so synergistic and like so community oriented and like positive, good stuff coming out of it. And this so far, like, I've struggled to like actually speak with people and connect with them like on a business level in a way that I feel like is progressive.
Everyone here just feels so tired and like sad.
I think honestly, I think it's Denver. We need to move ETHDenver out of Denver.
I will say though, one thing that I think is amazing about the organizers of this event is that it's totally free. These conferences can be very prohibitively expensive.
Yeah.
And I really have to hand it to the organizers, the people who are here and who are part of the community in Denver. They work really hard to try to make this an event that people want to come to. Obviously, that didn't really hit for us this year. I honestly think it probably has a lot to do with the community at Ethereum right now and what they're going through in the foundation, all the structural changes. But I do want to give a major shout out to creating an enormous free conference, because that is hard to do.
That's true. The guy who was sitting next to me at my poker table, he flew here from China. He's doing like a conference circuit, but he came to this one because it's free, and he owns no crypto. He's not in Web3 at all, but his friend is into crypto and said like he should explore it, and a good place to start is conferences. So he's like come to this thinking that he could like build connections and learn about the industry and stuff like that. So it is a good venue to get started from like a learning perspective if it's free.
I'm very impressed by the organizers who continue to do that. So I do want to point that out. To your point about moving it out of Denver, I would love if more communities maybe copy the Denver model. Like maybe Miami, for example, would be super fun.
Yes.
But there's also something about like the smaller cities and getting people to come here and boosting that local economy and all that. So I unfortunately will not be returning to ETHDenver unless I'm forced, but I really respect the hustle and the game. It's not for me, honestly, from a health perspective. I cannot handle not sleeping and feeling sick and all of this stuff all the time. But that aside, I'm really, really impressed with the organizers. And so I want to give a shout out to that because they can't control the vibes.
Yeah.
They can just do the best they can to show a free event.
Why is the guy not lurking around now?
When I'm giving compliments.
Yeah. Only when we were shitting on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agree. I left last time. I came to ETHDenver a couple years ago thinking I would never come back here, saying I would never come back here. Here I am. Because
apparently I FOMO'd her into it.
Because Lindsay's here. So Lindsay, please never come back here so that I never have to come back here. Otherwise, I'm going to get FOMO'd in again.
I did have a friend say like, oh my God, are you having the best time? It looks like you're having so much fun on social media. I'm like, what social media?
Social media is a highlight reel. It's a highlight reel curated to.
First of all, I am not posting as much as I usually do, and I am not as funny as I usually am.
Clearly, they're not picking up on the nuances.
I know. Like, what do you mean? I'm having I also do want to point out, I'm not having a bad time. I want to say that again.
Only because you cannot have a bad time.
Yeah. Well, are you having a bad time? Would you say?
I'm not having a bad time. I would say like it's mediocre.
It's a
Yeah, I'm mediocre. Like I'm not.
Yeah. But I don't know. This is the third conference I've been to this year already. The first ones were extremely small. So one was in the Bahamas and one was in Puerto Rico, a lot smaller. And I personally love a conference that's somewhere between 30 and 200 people, where you can like actually really get to know the people that you're with. And there's a lot more. When you talk about like how do you keep up the energy to meet people, usually also in addition to not to sort of introducing yourself into it, when you're with smaller groups, then smaller groups form, and like you don't have to carry the weight of the conversation.
Right.
So it's like if you're in a room full of people, like 200 people, it's a lot less likely that tons of people know each other. Like we're with 10,000 people right now.
Yeah,
everyone's going to have their cliques too.
Yeah, that's true.
And so at smaller conferences, there's less pressure to have a clique or be in an in-group already, and everyone's just sort of there and very mellow and looking to like, okay, we're gonna all spend like together this small group together. We're gonna spend time together. Like let's get to know each other. And it's really, really fun way of doing that. So like, my conference circuit this year, like I will be going to the majors as much as possible, but I'm gonna more so look for like those smaller ones or side events or whatever, where it's like small.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think this one is just so big, and there's so many tribes within the larger conference attendees that it's like hard.
The Bitcoin maxis are here. I'm like, well, actually, I saw some guy doing like a influencer video, wearing the orange tie, the orange glasses, whatever. And
Lindsay was almost in a second crypto music video today, by the way.
No, I told Larissa we should both be in it, but we almost had our second. I would have been my second crypto rap video.
My inaugural one.
Yeah, inaugural. I love that.
Missed it.
So he's doing like an influencer video on Bitcoin.
We can create a rap video.
Oh my God, I actually have a voice note of me rapping "Hater to Love It" for when I lost my voice, and it's awful. We'll post on Twitter if it gets enough likes.
Yeah.
Anyways, yes, this guy was like yelling Bitcoin stuff, and I was like, oh my God, there's a Bitcoin maxi here. Like, that's great. Someone has to do it.
Yeah,
it was so funny.
I guess so.
Someone's got to do it, Larissa.
Someone's got to do it.
Their heart is in the work. I love that for them.
That's true. That's true. The one lone Bitcoin maxi.
Right. Do you think that you will change anything that you do at a conference? Like what have you like learned from this, from your short time at ETHDenver?
That I need to mentally prepare more and have more of a game plan going in when it's a conference this big. Like yesterday when I showed up, I was just like there to get in the mix, but I should have like gone straight to the media room, straight to people I wanted to meet versus just showing up and like willy-nilly expecting stuff to happen. Because if you don't have a plan, then like the plan has you.
That's very true. I will say as well, one thing that's always helped me is, I mean, first of all, women in this industry are the absolute best. They're so supportive. They're so wonderful. Before the conference started, I was in a couple different Telegram chats ranging from like 10 people to 100 people. And we were all coordinating before, like who's going to be at what. And so I always knew that I had someone to talk to at
That's fair. Yeah.
And so like doing that beforehand really helped.
Yeah.
So that could be something that might help too.
Yeah,
so jumping into Telegram,
just like having go-to people to talk to at different events. Yeah, that would definitely make a difference. And also, I have to say that women in this industry are so fun and inclusive and eager to be friends. So, like, fuck all the negativity. Like, I feel like we're always saying this, but there are women in crypto, and like they exist and like are empowering to others. And there have been several, not women exclusive events, but like women focused events.
Yeah, run by women's organizations.
That type thing. And so it's a fun place to be a woman.
The one that we were at last night was so fun.
Yeah.
I mean, shout out to Boys Club. They always throw the best events. And it's so funny because I was talking to someone who was like, oh, like they don't let in men, whatever. Men are always there. I want to be clear. It's just that it's not like toxic. Like there's no ugly energy. Like Boys Club threw a pool party in Bangkok, and I was having a little bit of anxiety and thoughts about, can I go to kind of a work-focused pool party? Will I feel comfortable? Will I feel safe? Like, what can I wear kind of thing? And then I thought about the people who organize it and the people that they invite into their space and the expectations of those people and how the community kind of self-polices it into, like, don't be weird, essentially. Yeah. And there's very much that model, like, don't be weird, be kind. And I went to the pool party, and there was, of course, men there and a whole bunch of women, and I was super comfortable, felt super safe, didn't feel weird at all. And so, like, it's just these spaces, it's just that they just don't have toxic energy. It's not that they are geared towards any gender. It's not about that. It's just like, hey, everyone here is going to be kind. They're going to not be weird. They're not going to
creep on you if you're in a fucking bikini.
Exactly. And like having those spaces has been like so changing. Where I actually just wrote a piece on this, but it's not about either gender. It's about the fact that I don't have to think about my gender.
Right.
Like that's the difference. Like no one's thinking about my gender.
Right.
And that's like so new. And that's women in crypto are the ones like creating those spaces for everyone. Yeah. And they're doing a fantastic job at it. It's so fun to go to those places. Agreed. Yeah.
Those are the most fun parties. And we will be hosting our own Seeking Alpha events soon.
Yeah. And the rule will be don't be weird.
Yeah. Don't be weird. Be fab. F-A-B. Fab.
Yeah. No, those spaces are so important. And I will say too, like I always joke because Twitter can be the darkest of places, but girl crypto Twitter is like my favorite place on the internet.
It's so empowering, so fun.
Good. So good.
So fun.
And I was just talking about this the other day because one of my friends, she messaged me and she was like, she works in gaming. And she's like, I just cannot get enough of how online all of you are and how supportive you are. Yeah. Like you all just really go out for each other.
Shout out to the budding Seeking Alpha community.
Yeah.
And
no, actually though. Yeah. We have so many kind interactions on Twitter.
I've been recognized like 3 times from the pod. I mean, only because it's like Lindsay's friend who like saw me and listened to the podcast with Lindsay. But
it actually has been so cute to have people that, that I know and love walk up and be like, oh my God, Larissa, like you're so great. And Larissa's like, who are you?
I know, I really got to get, so that's what, these are my questions.
Sweet.
Yeah. I need to get better at like receiving this type of energy. In addition to just giving it, which I also need to do better.
That's fine.
Because that's how you do well at conferences.
Yeah. I mean, I think at the end of the day, just, I guess like, again, I'm someone who definitely is introverted by nature and over the years have just treated this like game time, thought about how I wanted people on the other end to feel when they walked away from me and just worked towards refining that. And not everyone I meet is going to be a person that I like love and connect with forever, but I want everyone I meet to feel like that could be them.
That's sense. Fair. Yeah. That's fair. I gotta work.
Everyone deserves to feel like special and attended to in that moment.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah,
that's so true. That's
game time, baby.
Game time, baby. It's game time. I'll go practice now.
Yeah, I think we should sign off and go to another side of it.
Okay, let's go drink. I mean network. Let's go network.
Yeah,
with some drinks.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Bye.